good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again. Another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima, Mario Brothers music. So, guys, as you know, people have been heated about the Deion Sanders situation going to Colorado, leaving the legendary Jackson State. You have on one side people saying stuff like, sad music. Man, I'm glad Deion got away from them lazy jiggers. He done went over there to University of Colorado with the white folk. And then you have African music, Demo, drum music. Man, Deion's supposed to better the black community, brother. How he gonna leave the black folk and go over there with the white man, brother? He's selling out, brother. Ashaza Bay, Kuala, brother. And you know, all the arguments in between, right? And you know me, I'm somewhere in the middle. Again, I understand that Brother Deion came into the program. He stayed 3 years. I'm very grateful that he did. But at the same time, people don't understand that out of the $300,000 that he was getting, half of that money was donated back into the program. Now, stop the show. We are not even including Mississippi state tax. All right. Now, I know he already had money, but still. All right. And if he's doing that, how is he even affording to pay his coaching staff? Now, I want to just talk about this before we get into the topic. Nobody else is asking any of the white coaches to come back and coach for a discount and donate half of their money back into the school program that they're working with. All right. And one of the reasons why you shouldn't do that, I'm going to tell you, is because the black alumni that come from HBCUs do not stop the show. Do not stop the show again, Dima. Make some echo effects on my voice, please. Do not donate back into the program. And Roland Martin is going to expose it. Now, I have gotten on Brother Roland Martin. We are on two different sides of the coin on many issues. But on this one, the brother is spot on about the black community and Deion Sanders. I'm going to play a lengthy clip of Brother Roland Martin exposing the community for what it is, and I'm going to come back.
I've said this before. There are 107 HBCUs in the United States. There are 230,000 students that go to those HBCUs. 20% of those students are non-black. So that means about 195 or so thousand of the students at HBCUs are black students. There are 1.6 million black students that attend PWIs in the United States. Okay, 1.6 million versus 230,000 total students out of 107. Now, when I listen to folk who are angry and upset with Deion Sanders, I thought about one of my staffers who came to me, and she was scared to tell me as she was taking a new job. And she told me she was leaving, and I said, well, why were you scared? She said, I thought you would be upset. I said, I've never been upset when somebody left. I said, and the reason I've never been upset when somebody left, because I always know no matter who you are, you can be replaced. I said, the only person that cannot be replaced is me, because I own it. Now, let me explain that. I don't get upset when somebody leaves. I've never gotten upset when the pastor left a church. I've never gotten upset when the editor of a paper or a place left. I've never done that. Because the reality is, what I understand is, no institution dies or survives based upon one person. Now, the issue is not an institution dies when a person leaves. An institution dies when the new person comes in and does not handle their business. Now, so for folk, again, who need to understand this, okay? What we need to understand is this here. It's a whole bunch of black people right now commenting about Deion Sanders leaving an HBCU, and not now one of them worked for a black-owned company. It's a lot of people who are commenting about Deion Sanders leaving who don't live in black neighborhoods. It's a lot of people right now who are commenting about Deion Sanders being a sellout when it comes to leaving Jackson State, and they made no affirmative decision to actually buy black. Now, see, See, it's real easy to focus on Deion, but not look at yourself and what you were doing. And so that's what gets me when people are upset. Now, what folk also have to understand is everybody ain't built the same. I understand. When I was at CNN, they asked me to leave the Tom Jordan Morning Show, to leave TV One, and all my books and my speeches, and I said no. I said, I'm not leaving my black stuff. Y'all haven't given me a daily show. You haven't given me the higher salary, so I'm not going to leave my stuff on a possible promise. I had a lunch with John Klein. John's a great guy. It was in 2009. He was the president of CNN US. He asked me, when are you going to get done with all this other stuff, TV One and Tom Jordan? And I said, well, you gonna give me a 5-day-a-week show? There was no response. I said, well, I ain't leaving. Well, the next year, John Klein gets fired at CNN. I don't leave CNN until 2013. When I left CNN, I still had TV One, Tom Jordan, and all my other stuff. And so everybody out here is not committed specifically to working in black institutions. And that's fine. There are black people right now who are in media, who work at ABC and NBC and CBS, and they want to work in mainstream media. They are not committed to working in black-owned media. I made a conscious decision to do so. Now, Deborah, you look at Robin Roberts. She's making $20 million at Good Morning America. When you look at Al Roker, when you look at so many other different people, they're making multiple millions, and that's fine. I made a different decision in terms of what I wanted they would do with my life. And so understand that's the case. And so, Renita, you're absolutely right in terms of what Deion said and what he was saying. But also, it's also incumbent upon us in black institutions to also make decisions as to how we lead them. So let me give y'all an example. I didn't leave the Chicago Defender because CNN called me. I left Chicago Defender because the folks who own the Defender wanted the paper to be a small community paper. That wasn't my vision. I was trying to make the Chicago Defender into the nation's leading black media organization. They didn't want that. I said, I got to go. Now, but understand, for 20 years, the Chicago Defender lost money. It was a bad paper. It was called the Chicago Offender. I get there, we lose money my first year, make a profit my second year, make a profit my third year. Now, when I leave, the paper goes down after I leave. That ain't my fault. That's the folk who still own it and run it. And so, the challenge right now for Jackson State or for every SWAC school and for every HBCU is not to decry Deion. What you should be now saying is, who's going to be our new leader? What's the plan of action? And so I never thought Deion was going to stay at Jackson State 3 or 4 or 5 years. The fact that he stayed 3 years is also surprising. And so the fact of the matter is, what we've got to learn to do in black institutions is to, on Makongo's point, stop sitting here looking for the savior, but also let's create multiple people who understand what we're doing and also what we're trying to build.
So now, he's 100% right. He said the same thing I'm saying. You want to blame Deion Sanders for leaving. You don't support black businesses. You don't support the black community. Now, I'm not saying you publicly, right? I'm talking about the people who got a problem with him leaving. And then here's another thing too. What person do we ask to come back and say, you know what, brother, come in and give all of this money back into the program? And guess what? One thing I'll tell you about black folks, they'll let you do it. We as a group of people, especially the Jackson State alumni, all your elites in the city of Jackson, you have reality shows talking about how Jackson, Mississippi got all these great entrepreneurs and stuff like that. The city of Jackson's supposed to come in and say, wait a minute, you're going to donate half of your money into this? Hell no, Deion, we're not going to ask you to do that. We're going to come up with the money and raise the money for you to be here. But we're not going to do that. Why? Because we expect a hometown discount for everything. The black community expects you to always give a hometown discount, despite your talent. Then we have the unmitigated gall to get upset when somebody wants to take your talent away. Now, let me just say this. I really understand that it's hard to work with black people. It's not everybody can do what Deion says. I said the same exact thing. But at the same time, give the man a reason outside of do it for the struggle, brother, to stay in the black community. Y'all saw that this man, I'm talking about all the athletes out there, NFL athletes, entertainers. You know, y'all see that the brother is out here donating half his salary, trying to recruit these young men, and y'all just sitting back idly by while this man is spending his own hard-earned money to help build the community up. Then when they come in and the University of Colorado write the check, you got a problem with that, and I can see that, but you don't support. And that's one thing that a lot of brothers like to do in the black community. And sisters, y'all like to have something to say, but y'all don't spend no money with nobody black. And you know, I spend a lot of money with black people. A lot. All the time. All the time. Most of the money I spend is with either African Americans or Africans. So I can talk this stuff. But so many brothers don't. And y'all be, he shouldn't leave here. Well, what money do you get at Jackson State? Nothing. What money do you give anybody? Nothing. Well, that's why he left. So if you feel strongly about him leaving, then you need to work with your people to give. So when you see we have talent, try to do something. Because we have the same problem in Africa, in the Black American community in Africa. African countries come back, telling their diaspora, come back and build. Come back and do something for us. Come back and do this. Come back and do that. What's the incentive? Oh, well, we just want you to come back because you from this country. What? Y'all ain't making no sense.
Shut your bitch ass.
So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.